Hi, ladies of the Empire. My name's Tara Burnett, and here to talk to you about what Barbara Block spoke to us about last Friday night when she came here to Mackay. I'm just going to really just give you a couple of points that really helped me. We all run our businesses differently. We've all got different strengths and weaknesses and bring something entirely different to the table, to each of our individual businesses. So this might help you. You might already be all on over this. But yeah, for me and the parts in the business that I really struggle with, these sort of points really helped me. She told us to inspect our business. She said to have a look and see that when you sit down to do work, are you just thinking about doing work or are you actually doing work? She talked about turning our time into money or putting a value on it. Our time was what she actually said, and that really helped me. She gave us a little sort of diagram on the whiteboard, and she basically put up the days of the week and split each day up into AM, noon, and PM. And then she said, like, put a C for each day that is already definitely committed. Like, say, if you went to church on a Sunday, then the AM or the AM and the PM are blocked out as committed. That's a C. You're not going to use that time for anything else. So do that throughout your week in those 3 time slots. Put an S for your spare time and put a $ on the parts of your week that you actually are turning back into money. And the coolest part about it was, she said, and like every now and then you'll have a week where you're like, you know what, I really don't need that extra S, that spare time there. So I'm just going to put a cross through that. And of course, when you put a cross through an S, it turns into a $. So I really liked that. It was just a real practical, cool key to get me pumped and to get me to, again, inspect my business and have a look at it, see what my week is actually made up of and how much time I'm actually just wasting going off on little rabbit trails with my business, like getting distracted on the dashboard, distracted with a wish list. I'll go onto Facebook to do some follow-up and I'll get distracted on there. So yeah, it's another line she said was, catch yourself out being naughty. And it's really stuck with me because I've actually caught myself out quite a few times. And even my hubby, like, he'll be watching a movie or something and he's like, are you still doing work? And it's good because I'm like, well, no, actually, I just saw one of those videos pop up that comes up in your Facebook news feed and started watching it. And I'm like, oh, no, get back to what I'm actually doing here. Because it frees me up too then to have quality time with my family and, like, because that's the one thing that for me, I get resentful of my business, is if it takes time away from my family. But really, it's my fault if it does that. Because I'm not using my time wisely. So if I sit down to do my work and I'm getting distracted, then it's really me stealing time away from my family, not Jamberry. So that was a really cool mental shift for me, mentality shift. An entree, a main course, and a dessert. And she said, and in that entree, that's where you're having your tete-a-tete, I guess, like you're chatting to people as they come in, and you're doing all the sort of nibbly stuff. You're finding out about them, how they know the hostess, all that kind of stuff. But then when you have your main course, keep it your main course. Do what you're there to do. You're there to show them a product. You get there to give them the information that they've come for. You're there to have fun. But then that dessert time, you're supposed to eat all your dinner before you get your dessert, and generally we have our dessert through the whole party, and that's what takes up the time because we're all hanging out and chatting and funny stories and blah 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 blah. But save that for the end, save the dessert for after dinner. I really liked that. People rarely say no twice. So if you've offered them the business opportunity, you haven't rejected them, you haven't decided in your head, oh, then they're not going to start a business. You've given them an opportunity and they may have said no to that. But then you are offering them a party, and then you're offering them sales, and they're going to say yes to 1 or 2 of those other things because they've already said a no. So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that because I've already started doing it, and I actually got really good feedback from my last online party. And not only that, but I actually did properly follow up with every single person that went there. And I've done it consistently, and they've appreciated it, and I've just felt really productive, and it's really given me a boost in my own the way I run a party. Oh, she also said avoid the word dollars, which I love because I've totally avoided it now. Nobody cares about what it costs if they're interested in the product, and it's not until, afterwards when they're actually looking to buy stuff that they go, oh, okay, so it costs that amount, so this is my budget, so this is how we're going to make it work, and you can talk to them about it then. 5 reasons for booking. She asked us what we thought it was, and we came up with the 5 reasons for booking between us all. Free gifts for yourself, free gifts for your hostess, social fun experience because they like the product or because they like me, which I thought was such a cool reason for people to host a party. Because if they don't like you, why would they invite you into your home and introduce you to their friends? Like, that's just embarrassing. So I thought that was really cool. But research has shown that the top #1 most reason is to have fun. Then because they like the consultant. Then because they like the product. Go figure. They could like you more than the product and they'd still, host a party because of that fact, which is so cool. And then it's free gifts for the hostess, and then it's free gifts for themselves. So they're basically, so for the hostess is like, oh, what my friend gets a referral code if I book a party, and you're like, yeah, oh yeah, well that's a good idea. So that's number 4 and 5. So you don't discount number 4 and 5, but they're not top dog. They're not the top reasons. Put a positive slant on things rather than a negative. So even down to you're like, oh, I've given someone a sample, and so you're like, oh, I really want to give you a call and see how you went. Instead of saying, I want to give you a call, you say, I need to give you a call, like to make sure that this has worked for you. Like it's a necessity. They can't really turn you down. It's actually really necessary that you get their number for that. And another thing, instead of saying, if somebody notices your nails and they're like, oh, these are really pretty, don't look at my forefinger, I picked a gel off, bad me. But yeah, they look at your nails and they're like, oh, these are really pretty. And you go, oh, have you heard of Jamberry? Don't say it like that. Say it, no doubt you've heard of Jamberry, because if they haven't heard of Jamberry, they're like, whoa, hang on a second, what am I missing? I want to know about this Jamberry that apparently everybody else knows about. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I remember I wrote down so much of how she said to word things, because that just takes the fear out of ringing people up for me. I never want to come across as a pushy salesperson. So when she said, how to basically build your sentences and stuff, I really took note of that. You can say to them when you give them the sample wrap, when do you think you will apply that wrap? Which is so practical. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I felt like that was pushy somehow, like hurry up and try your wrap on, but it really isn't. It's when do you, because then they know to expect a phone call after the time that they've given you. So yeah, it really takes the scariness out of ringing people back and follow up. I'm catching myself out being naughty. I'm doing stuff when I sit down to actually do it instead of just thinking about doing it. And I'm following up, and I'm not so scared anymore to offer the opportunity of our business, because that's where the money is at, isn't it? Building a team and allowing other women to come in and have the same amount of fun you're having in your biz. So yeah, that's it.